Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Melvin, good morning. Ready to boogie. Melvin, how you doing this morning? Mike, good morning. Thanks for joining, Mike. Hope y'all can hear me okay. Stephen, good morning. Jason, good morning. From Colorado. Smiley. Smiley's on the way. He's coming over to join me in my backyard. Physically join me in my backyard. Justin, good morning. Smiley's going to spend the day piddling with me back here. Stephen, bless you, man. You blessed me enough this weekend. TC Too Cool, good morning. Awesome, man. Awesome. I'll probably do this for about, I don't know, half hour or so, however long folks stick around. I am filming this brisket cook, so the video will probably be up. I'll probably post it tomorrow, probably. Boy, I'd love to go to Colorado. I've always wanted to go to Colorado. Brandy says it's too cold. She don't want to go because it snows, but man, I'd love to go to Colorado. Beautiful country. Dale, good morning. Rick, come on over, man. Come on over. I tell you what, me and Brandy, we got out here yesterday, and I'm actually starting to feel good. I'm starting to feel good. Energy level's good and starting to feel good. And yesterday was the first day I really felt like doing any yard work. I'd kind of let it go. So we got out here yesterday and mowed grass and weed eated and got the blower out. And she got out here. We still had the Christmas tree out here in the yard from taking it down. So she got the limb choppers and chopped it up and burned it off in the fire pit out here. And we got everything cleaned up. Now I'm trying to get the pool back going. The pollen makes havoc on that pool. And so I put some shock in it yesterday and got the pumps going again and trying to get it cleared up. I hope if the noise is too bad, let me know and I'll cut those pumps off. There's my beautiful wife. She's camera shy, I guess. She just went and got some paper towels for later on. But we cleaned up the yard pretty good and all that. So Dave C., good morning. Jamie, good morning. From Chino, California. We got folks from California, Colorado, a little bit of everywhere. Good to have y'all this morning. So I seasoned up the brisket this morning, and I used, first of all, again, Stephen Manis, thank you so much for that brisket. That thing is unbelievable. The marbling on it is awesome. Brandy was making fun of me last night because I couldn't quit rubbing it, and that thing is beautiful. Southern Indiana, 1984 barbecue. Jimbo Q, good morning. Still stuck in Afghanistan. My brother, get home soon. Safe travels to you. But so I trimmed it yesterday afternoon when it came in and then put it in the fridge, wrapped it really well and then put it in the fridge, got it out this morning and let it come up to room temp. And then I seasoned it, and I seasoned it with Gavin McGregor from Australia. When he sent me that Vegemite, he also sent me some seasoned salts, and one of them was a Tasmanian pepper salt. and it is a sea salt that is seasoned with a couple of different kinds of peppers. And so I took that. Thank you, Mike. Everyday Barbecue. Thank you for joining, and I appreciate that. Peter, good morning. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. So I seasoned it. I seasoned that brisket. Justin Stanley, God bless you, man. I seasoned it with that Tasmanian pepper salt, sea salt with those different kinds of peppers from Australia. I think that's going to go really well with it. It was a really coarse salt, which is kind of what you want on a brisket. And then I went back over that with some Traeger jerky rub, which has a really beefy flavor to it. And I injected it with I injected the flat with the Butcher Barbecue prime injection. But I've got all of that on Justin, I appreciate that, man. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it. Justin gave me a happy birthday bonus to his weekly stipend. But I think that Butcher Barbecue prime injection will add a lot of beef flavor to that flat. But man, I'm telling you, that brisket looked amazing. I may try to take the camera. I don't know if the camera will reach. I may try to take it over there and just give you a sneak peek. Rhonda, good morning. Rhonda went on a run this morning.
Excited that she got back in time to watch your show.
She went on a run this morning, and Rhonda, I hope you did well. Obviously, you survived it. So good morning to you. Can't wait for you and Rhonda and Mac. They're coming over this afternoon too to pill around and take part in the brisket later on. Rhonda, 5K in 33:24. Not bad, Rhonda. Do it, girl. Justin, come on over. All of y'all are welcome. We're going to listen to some tunes, and I got old Yeti over here full of cool pops. We'll have some tunes and have a big time. That's the only thing about, doing stuff like this on YouTube is I like for y'all to, be in the backyard with me and everything. The only thing missing is the tunes. You don't want to get copyright trouble with YouTube, but probably the first playlist will probably be some maybe some soul music, maybe some Al Green or something like that for a little while. Bill Withers is good. Then I might do some 70s music for a while, and then we'll do some country music for a while. Old Chad, he's coming over. DJ Shorty Rob, he's liable to start DJing after a while. Ain't no telling. Chad said he's on the way. So that's good stuff. Peter says he's cooking 300 pounds of ribs at work. There'll be some happy folks over there where you work, Peter. Steven says he can be here in 3 hours. Come on, man. Rick, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Looks like you have better weather. Yeah. What kind of weather do you have, Austin? Yeah, it's going to be, what'd you say, 80 today? It's going to be in the low 80s today. And, the weather's awesome, so it's going to be good. Birds are singing. I'm sure y'all can probably hear that. Y'all let me know if it gets too noisy. But I figured we'd just come out here where the grill's at and chill out here on the back porch for a little bit. Been cold this morning, and the wind's been blowing about 40 miles per hour. Good grief. It's 18 here in Rochester. Justin, I don't imagine you're out on the back porch, are you? Peter says 20 degrees. Saying 20 degrees is that to Connecticut. It's only 31 here. Golly. Well, tomorrow or Monday, I think it's supposed to cool back off. So the weather's been crazy. The plants, they don't know what to do. They don't know where to bloom or die. So, but the plan for this brisket is I just took it off of Super Smoke. I had it on Super Smoke for about an hour. But y'all can probably still hear the fan, maybe still cutting on and off, on and off. And that's that intermittent, that variable speed fan on that timberline. Kind of keeping the temperature where it needs to be. But when I had it on Super Smoke, I mean, it was really pouring the smoke to it. So, Ben, good to have you on here, brother. Ben Phelps. Love you guys, you and Josh. Ben, he's with the Watchman Stove up there in Winchester, Virginia. Great dudes. Y'all need to check those guys out at the Watchman Stove. I got the Watchman Stove right over there in that corner, right over there. It might get fired up here a little later on. Yeah, I may get the shotgun out here in a minute, Stephen. For birds. All right, Peter, have a great day. Have a great cook. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, Peter, he's a good dude too. Dave C., thank you. I appreciate the birthday wishes from all you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm going to try to let that brisket go. I just cut the Super Smoke off, so that's been an hour. In about 3 more hours, I'll probably check the temp on it. And once it gets to about 165, I'm going to take it off. And Harley says he used his Watchman Stove last night. Ben Harley loves his Watchman Stove. God bless my brother. He is headed to Six Flags in Atlanta today with, I think, 7 teenagers, 6 or 7 teenagers. So, bless you, brother. But after it gets to about 165, I'm going to pull it off, wrap it in butcher paper. And to be honest with you, I've been debating on it, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the point from the flat at that point when I wrap it. And I'm going to wrap the flat in butcher paper and put it back on. And then I'm going to take that, the point, and probably put it in a pan with a little beef stock and put it back on, cut it into cubes and make some burnt ends with it. I've been debating on it, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll see how that turns out. I think it's going to turn out good. The whole brisket looked great, but that point meat was just beautiful. So I'll get old Smiley to help me with that. Chad, I think Harley's might need some help up in Six Flags with 6 teenage girls. That's for Harley's daughter's birthday party. So that's kind of the plan for the brisket. So y'all let me know how y'all do y'all's brisket. Chad said, no, he's good. But I hope it turns out really well. I think it's going to. Sam's out here, and Brandy's got a JV baseball game to go to in Savannah. But she'll be back in time to partake in the festivities this afternoon. Y'all let me know what y'all are cooking today or tomorrow. By the way, got a little iron bean coffee. My second cup, so I'll be wired. Yeah, still. I'm a slow sipper. Who plays JV baseball on a Saturday? That's what I want to know, Smiley. That's a great point.
Versus caliber.
Harley says, I did some burn-ins with tri-tip last night, and they were epic. That does sound good. By the way, speaking of that tri-tip, Harley just reminded me, I was on that Facebook group this morning, and one guy, you know, I feel sorry for some of these guys. I think he was probably, he had just gotten started in smoking or whatever, and he was just posting, you know, in a group, and he posted his tri-tip. And he did another post and said, you know, evidently, according to some of you guys, I ruined my tri-tip because it wasn't rare. Well, maybe that guy don't like his tri-tip rare, you know? And people don't realize, you know, some of these guys that are just getting into smoking and everything, stuff like that will deter them from ever posting in one of them groups again, you know? Everybody's different. Just because they don't do it your way doesn't mean it's wrong. Yeah, I got to stay off of that. And I mean, I don't like mine rare. Maybe a medium. I like it medium rare, something like that. By the way, I did some, I posted, we did some pork chops last night, and I posted on Instagram. But a buddy of mine, Trevor, he gave me some, a rub that he was talking about that he uses, and it was called Charlie's Choice. Wasn't it Charlie's Choice? I think it was Charlie's Choice. And it was awesome. It was kind of a salt and garlic, more of a SPG type seasoning. But man, it was awesome. It was really good on those pork chops. And so I'm gonna have to look that up and get me some more. He says he gets it from, I think, one of the local grocery stores. Yeah, Charlie's Choice. It says steak seasoning, but y'all can see that. Charlie's Choice. And Sam is bound and determined to get tangled up in this microphone cord. I'm about to barbecue a dog. But Charlie's Choice, it's really good. But it's more of a SPG type. It says salt, black pepper, granulated garlic, and then it says spices. But it's mostly a SPG, but that was really good stuff. So if y'all find Charlie's Choice anywhere, y'all pick some of that up. It was really good. Also, when what you want me to bring, whatever you're wanting to drink, Molly, whatever you want to drink. If you want to bring some sausage or something, we'll probably throw something on. I'm probably going to do some jalapeno poppers. I bought some jalapenos and cream cheese and bacon, so I'm probably going to do some jalapeno poppers here in a little bit. I may drag out another grill. I may drag out the Silverbac and show it some love too, and do the jalapeno poppers on the Silverbac. So I'm gonna do the poppers, and if you want to bring some sausage or something, bring some sausage. We'll throw it on too. G Potter, good morning. He's doing a pork butt and an 8-pound brisket on my brand new Pit Boss Austin XL and Pit Boss Tailgater. That's awesome, man. A pork butt and an 8-pound brisket. That's gonna be good stuff. That's gonna be really good. Justin Stanley, they carry some Charlie's Choice on Amazon. Not sure if the prices are good though. I'm not sure what this runs at the grocery store. I'm sure Amazon, I'm sure the prices at Amazon are probably better than the price that Trevor paid for this. But Trevor, I appreciate you. Let me borrow this. This is really good stuff. That'd be good on chicken too. Now it says steaks, so it might be good on steaks too. I might try it on some steaks this week. My wife's doing selfies over there.
I'll send it to you.
Also, Don Dukes, good morning. No, it's not sweet at all. Matter of fact, I don't even think there's, well, it just says spices, but it doesn't say anything about sugars on here. But like I say, I think it's more of a salt, pepper, garlic. Sam just let himself in the back door there. Also, guys, while I was trimming that brisket, and again, there was not a thick fat cap on it at all. It was more of that thin, soft fat that you can pull up with your fingers, and I could see the marbling of that brisket underneath. So I really wanted to expose that marbling. So I just took the rest of that thin sinew type fat off. I don't know about being smart, Stephen, but it's really good if especially if you've got a really good brisket, a really good, expensive piece of meat, and you want to trim it, but you don't want to get into the meat. You don't want to take any of that good meat off to have a good knife. And I use this knife that one of my coworkers made. Will Mabin made this for me, and he's got a Instagram account, I think, and a Facebook account. Don't, Sam don't understand live stream. The least little noise, and he's going to bark for 10 minutes. But Mabin Cutlery, I think, is what it is on Instagram and Facebook. Y'all check him out. If you've got a design or any kind of idea of a knife that you might want in mind, if you tell him or give him a sketch or whatever, he'll make it. Whatever kind of steel you want him to make it out of, whatever kind of finish and whatever kind of handle. He made the handle. He made the whole knife. And so, and you talking about razor sharp, it's razor sharp. And so it did some work on that brisket as far as trimming it up. And I'm really happy with this thing. And what I like about it is nobody else has got a knife exactly like this, because we designed it. I took a design of a knife that I saw online, but it came straight down right there. And Harley's got a couple of knives with this little notch in it for your finger to slide right up in. And I wanted to add that to it. So I just showed him what I wanted, and that's it. And he blued the blade, and it's getting some nice patina on it now that I've used it for a little while. This handle is olive wood, and every now and then I'll just take a little olive oil and rub on it and then wipe it off. And man, it's a beautiful knife. So it fits really well in your hand. Not too big. I think it's 8-inch blade, but balanced really well too, right there, right in front of the handle. Perfect. So y'all check him out. Or, you know, if y'all got a knife in mind that y'all might want, you know, get in touch with me, and I'll get in touch with him for you. I'll be your middleman or something, you know. So yeah, Harley saying I told you not to get that dog. Harley was with me. Harley's why.
No, it's your fault. I'm leaving on that note. I love you. Y'all have fun.
Love you.
Love you too.
Be careful. Let me know when you get there. My beautiful wife and camera woman. She got up at 6 a.m. this morning to help me film this video this morning. So I'm blessed. Blessed to have her. Blessed to have all you guys. Harley was with me. I helped him do a cook over in Statesboro, and we go over there, and it was sponsored by the Humane Society. Now I got the cat and the dog out here. And Sam was in a cage right beside mine and Harley's tent right there. And Harley kept saying, look at that dog. You need that dog. You need that dog. And 5 hours later, Sam's in the truck with us coming home. And now we've got the dog. G. Potter, Jus Piddlin What type of flavor rub do you recommend for elk and bison? Wow. I'll be honest with you, I haven't cooked any elk, but I have cooked bison. But it's been the bison that I have cooked has been ground, and I've either used it in chili or just made burgers with it. And for the burgers, it's just a SPG salt, pepper, garlic. But I would say for elk and bison, it would be similar to deer, venison, which would be salt, pepper, garlic, or a good, a good beef rub, like a jerky rub, or just a seasoned salt. But I would want something with a little garlic in it, to be honest with you. If any of you have experience with the elk, y'all let G Potter know what y'all season it with. Y'all make a comment down there and let him know. We don't have. Now, I did see I was searching online for meat markets the other day and saw a meat market that they offered elk, bison, ostrich, I think goat, alligator, frog legs, all kind of exotic meats like that, which I can get frog legs here. And I've been meaning to do a video on frog legs, and I keep forgetting about it. Y'all remind me to do a video on frog legs. And Sam, I'm finna cut you. I'm finna cut you. But Harley has felt this knife. He said it feels really good. Lies and scandals. You know it's true. You know it's true. He's finna come home with you. Matter of fact, I'm finna take him to your house and drop him off while you're at Six Flags. Yeah, I mean, I can't complain about him. Now, he has lost some weight. When I first got him, he was 92 pounds. He was way overweight because his owner had fed him from the table, just table scraps all the time. So I put him on some regular dog food, and he has slimmed up, and I think he feels a lot better. Rick Short says, for elk, Traeger makes a big game rub. You're exactly right, Rick. You would think I'd have some big game rub here, but no such luck. Sam, you want some frog legs? Huh? Want some frog legs? That brisket smelled good. He liked to smell that brisket last night. Yeah. See, my brother is full of sarcasm, man. He just, hey, Sandy, do a video on frog legs. Full of sarcasm. I'm glad I'm not like that. Smiley, that's a great idea. Harley needs to go live from Six Flags. That's exactly what he needs to do. I would tune in for that. That would be good. Rick says your brother should get you some big game rub. Rick, that never occurred to me, but that's a great idea. That is a great idea. Harley, you know where I could get some big game rub from Traeger? Dave, keto does work on dogs. It does. Sam, you like keto? I don't think Sam... Well, it works on dogs, Dave, because Sam didn't really have a choice. I'm the one that feeds him, so he doesn't have a choice. You've never given me any big game rub. He always says that. I asked him about a flavor of pellet. Man, I already gave you some of that. No, I never. That Saskatchewan. I've never had any of that. You always talk about it. I've never had any of that. Big game rub. Never had any of that. I hear about it. I hear it's good. Ace Hardware sells big game rub. His mind might be slipping, Austin. His mind is slipping. If you can't get it done, then I can send you some. See, that's what I'm talking about, Rick. That's what I'm talking about. Harley says I can get it at TraegerGrills.com. Yeah. Iron Bean Coffee Company. Cheers, Fred. A little Loki there. And Loki might be the goat of Yirgacheffe beans. I like Loki. Loki's good. Fred, I see y'all are coming out with some Rage cups. The what do you call them cups? You probably did give it to Chad, Harley. You probably did. Fred says, I'm standing in snow. You're in a t-shirt by the water. I may just take a little dip here in a little bit, Fred. It's like my head's starting to sweat a little bit. But the cold brewskis that are in that Yeti right there with the Jus Piddlin BBQ stickers next to the Iron Bean Coffee Cup stickers, Coffee Company stickers, and the big EGA on the front that's keeping them nice and cold. Those are going to go down swell here in just a little bit. I can't feel my fingers. I love it. Well, Fred, if you get you a nice warm mug of Iron Bean coffee and just do like that, it might keep them fingers warm. And I feel warmer already. Harley, that's a nice Yeti. It is a nice Yeti. I'm glad I bought it, Harley. I'm glad I bought it. He let you use the Yeti. Yeah, I did let him use it. I've let him use it a couple times. Guys, I'm amazed that y'all tune in to just watch these shenanigans go on. But I'm sure glad y'all do, because it gives me something to do, because I don't have any buddies that would hang out with me otherwise. See, his memory goes again. Fred, that's funny. I can't feel my fingers. That's good. We were taught to share as children, or mom would whoop us. I had to get an igloo. Let me tell you something. Harley Smith, if he's got one Yeti at his house, he's got 10. He's got more Yetis than Yeti's got. He's got the tumblers. He's got the big ones, the small ones. He's got every handle accessory. He's got the hats, the shirts, the coolers, the backpacks, the koozies. He's got everything. He's got a Yeti tattoo. Don't let him fool you. Dave, come on, man. Hey, you can be here by tomorrow. And Brandy's bringing back some more when she comes back from the ball game. So, Rick, that's exactly right. I'd give him the shirt. I have given him the shirt off my back, actually. Smiley. That's true. It's true. He's got more Yetis than the Yeti. Yeti don't even know some of the Yetis that he's got. That's true. Julius, good morning. Good to have you this morning. We have got the Kobe. We have got the Kobe brisket on the Traeger Timberline 850. Going at 225 degrees using hickory and cherry pellets mixed 50-50. That it is, Fred, it's actually a Yeti tramp stamp right on his lower back there. It's a sight to see, I'm gonna tell you. And then he comes over to my house and tries to get in the pool with a daggum Speedo on, and everybody else evacuates the backyard so they don't have to see that. It's awful. My wife has a pink Yeti she's had for 2 years, and it still has the tags on it. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a banana hammock. Yeah, that's a YouTube video. No, that would probably get me kicked off of YouTube, is what it would do. I would be banned for life. TMI. Yes, TMI for me too, Stephen. TMI for me too. By the way, I'm curious to see what kind of smoke ring we get on this thing by the end of the day. But that hickory and cherry blend is my favorite blend. I just like that combination. That hickory gives it some good smoke, but to me, it just seems like, and this might be a total myth, but it just seems like that cherry wood, that cherry smoke just gives it a good color. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. That camera ain't going to reach. I don't think that camera's going to reach. I might be able to open that lid up and see what we can see. I don't know if we can see anything or not. We're going to try it live on Jus Piddlin BBQ. Luckily, I got a microphone cord that reaches. Now the cat's in the way. Revo, don't move now. Stay right there. Let's see what we got going on. Ooh-hoo-hoo. She's getting some bark on there. There's some jelly in that point right there. Get her closed back up. She's looking good. Looking good. Are y'all gonna get dizzy if I pick that camera up and try to show you? Let me try it real quick. Hope y'all took some Dramamine this morning. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Y'all ain't gonna get this kind of shot anywhere else on YouTube. Y'all probably still can't see Jack, can you? That's as close as I can get y'all to it, I think. Oh, we can do better than that. Y'all, come on. Here we go. Oh, yeah. There it is. See if I can get everything set back up. There we go. That's Jus Piddlin live right there. So that's what we got going on. There it is. Harley said, I tell you, smart ass. I think the grill rolls. Keith B, good to have you, man. Dean, good to have you. Julius, appreciate it. That might have been easier. The goat of picks. T Rooks, what kind of grill is that? That is a Traeger Timberline 850. Don Dukes. Too bad YouTube doesn't have smell-o-vision. Yeah, I'm trying to. Man, it smells good out here under this back porch. It does smell good. And I'm gonna tell you that that Tasmanian pepper salt from Australia that I used to season it with smelled amazing. That other salt that Gavin sent me is that herb salt, and I'm gonna try to use that on some salmon or some chicken. But it smells really good too. Stephen Lofton, good morning. Good Saturday to you as well. I forgot we also have 2 Ozark Trail coolers. He doesn't own an Ozark Trail. Harley's Yeti or nothing. Luckily, I found that one. It had fallen off the back of somebody's truck. It's scarred all up. Got a hole in the back. It's leaking right now all over the deck down there from where it bounced off the pavement. And I found it on the side of the road. That's how I got my Yeti. What can you do? Steven, time for a cold adult energy drink. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Steven. T. Rooks, what pellets do you think are the best for ribs? You talking about as far as flavor goes? Well, you're asking me what I think is best for ribs. And that's something that I think depends on your flavor. What kind of flavors do you like? But like and I know you're asking about pellets, but when I do ribs in my pit barrel cooker, I've got a couple of bags of hickory chunks in my little barbecue cabinet here. And so that's what I always use in my pit barrel cooker. And so when I do ribs on my pellet smoker, I usually use hickory pellets. And that's the kind of pellets that I like mostly is hickory or oak mixed with a little fruit wood, maybe cherry or apple. Apple's good on ribs, especially if you're going to spritz them with a little apple cider vinegar or apple juice. And that's the thing. You kind of want something that's going to complement the other flavors that you're using. So if you're going to use a spritz with some kind of apple juice or something like that, then throw in some apple pellets or apple chunks. If you're using another type of grill, a Weber kettle, throw in a chunk of apple in there with it and kind of let everything complement each other. Bloody Mary, man, Justin. Smiley, we need some zing zang. We need some zing zang. I've got the other ingredient already in the kitchen. I just don't have any zing zang. Man, that was a great idea, Justin. Harley, I spent enough time in the desert drinking hot water, and I refuse to be without ice. Crazy Pop, good morning. Good to have you. Awesome. I like hickory and cherry or pecan for ribs. Now, pecan's good too, or pecan, but I say pecan. Pecan is great. You can't go wrong with that. Cherry and hickory for me. Hardest the cherry and hickory for me. It's hickory and cherry, man. Hickory and cherry. Our mama and me and Stephen, I talked to Stephen on the phone last night. Me and Stephen were talking about this. Our mom and daddy had just like a little pit out in the backyard made out of cinder blocks. But some of the best meat that I've ever had came off of that cinder block pit in the backyard, and Mama used pecan because we had some pecan trees out there, and limbs were always falling. And she'd cook some of that stuff with that pecan, and man, it would be awesome. Hickory or apple mostly, and any of those combinations are really good. But like the common theme of most of these comments is the hickory part, which is what I like. Salmon. Salmon has an L in it, folks. Salmon has an L in it. You haven't given me any Bloody Mary mix. I've asked for that Bloody Mary mix forever. That's okay. I'll go to Traeger.com and get my own Bloody Mary mix. Now, somebody does, is it a brisket, Bloody Mary brisket, or is it Bloody Mary? Somebody does something with a Bloody Mary mix. Maybe it's a Bloody Mary pot roast or something. It might be a Bloody Mary pot roast that they use Bloody Mary mix with, and like braise it in that Bloody Mary mix. I've always wanted to try that. That sounds pretty good. I bet the Bloody Mary mix would make a good base for ribs. I may try some Bloody Mary ribs, kind of like that Frank's Red Hot sauce that I used that time for those ribs. And I've had several people compliment on that those Frank's Red Hot ribs that they've done it and said it would turn out really good. Bloody Mary wings are awesome. Harley, sounds like you have. Harley's house is full. Harley's got, all kind of grills, all kind of coolers, and, all kind of gadgets, cool stuff. I'm just trying to keep up. I try to be the goat of all brothers, Stephen. Surely you're not saying Harley's the goat of all brothers. I try to be. I just got a pellet smoker last week. I ended up getting the Camp Chef. Can't wait to use it. And I've heard a lot of great things about the Camp Chef pellet smokers. I think Mike over at Everyday Barbecue has a pellet smoker. I think Russ over at Smoky Ribs has a Camp Chef as well, and hear a lot of good things about them. They look like they're really well built. They really do. What, T. Rooks, what have you cooked on it so far? And what's your first impressions of it? Harley says he's down to 9 grills. Julius, do you use the Frank's Red Hot sauce or the Frank's Red Hot Buffalo sauce? Julius, I used the regular Frank's, the Frank's Red Hot sauce, not the Buffalo sauce. But I'm trying to remember the very first, I've done it twice. The very first time I used the regular Frank's Red Hot sauce, and I made my own buffalo sauce. And I think I used the Frank's Red Hot sauce. I used butter, and I think a little bit of garlic or garlic powder. I forget which one. So basically, I made my own buffalo sauce. So if you wanted to skip that process, then just get the Frank's Red Hot buffalo sauce and just use that. So basically, the first time I made my own buffalo sauce out of the Frank's Red Hot. But the Frank's Red Hot is my favorite hot sauce, my go-to hot sauce. Unless I'm just using it straight as a hot sauce, and then I also like Texas Pete. But for you know, making wings, sauces, and stuff like that, it's hard to beat Frank's. Now, I'll tell you something else that's good is that Frank's red, what is it? The sweet chili sauce. That sweet chili sauce is amazing on some wings too. T. Rook says, I like it. It's well built. I tried ribs and they turned out good. Awesome. Dave C., a guy I work with, has a camp chef that has a propane searing station. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool idea. And I have seen that. And I think it's pretty cool. The only downside to that is if you want to move it around, like lots of time, like I keep mine up against the house over here, but then when I want to cook on them, I'll move them, around, sometimes on the cool deck or right out here where this Traeger is or something. So if you want to move them, you got to move that around. Then you got to drag your propane tank out and all that stuff. So I don't know if that would be kind of a little bit of hassle at the same time. Mike Tabor, no sriracha. I've never been a sriracha fan for some reason. I don't know why. A lot of people use that sriracha and love it. And I mean, here lately, everything is cooked with sriracha. But I've just never been a big sriracha fan for some reason. I don't know why. T. Rooks, I'm in California and it's cloudy here. What state are you in? Looks like good barbecuing weather. T. Rooks, what part of California are you in? I was stationed out in San Diego for 3 years at Miramar, San Diego. But now I'm in southeast Georgia, down around Statesboro, Georgia, Savannah area. And it's a beautiful day. I couldn't ask for a better day today. I think it's going to be in the low 80s today. So it's going to be really nice today. Tony Harris, good to have you. Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Put that on everything. That's right. You can put it on everything. Crazy Pop, I have a camp chef too. Love it. But I've never cooked on any others, so really can't compare. His doesn't have the sear. Corona, California. Gotcha. So it's cloudy out there. And it's probably, so it's only 7 o'clock out there. 10 till 7. Well, hopefully that cloud cover will burn off. I remember being stationed out there, and lots of times in the morning it'd be really cloudy or really foggy. But once that sun come up, it'd burn it all off, and it'd be a nice day. So hopefully it'll be a nice day for you guys out there. What else? Anybody cooking anything today? What y'all got planned for today? I know the NASCAR folks are out in Phoenix, Arizona this weekend. I guess they'll be running the Xfinity race today. Of course, I probably won't be watching that because I'm going to be out here on the back porch. Mike Tabor, you don't have to brag about that great weather. Rain and thunderstorms later. Man. Yeah, JV race is going to be today. Mark Summers, how are you this morning? It's going good, Mark. It's going good. It's going to be 80 degrees today here in southeast Georgia. I've got that beautiful Kobe brisket on, the Traeger Timberline 850. Being harassed by my brother, but all these other guys on here are making it worth my while. Ribs, I usually do at 250 or 275. 250 or 275. Depending on how long I want to be out here in my backyard, which most of the time, the longer the cook, the better for me. So that's more tunes I can listen to and more cool pops I can have. So no, 225 isn't too low. Like I say, it's just going to take longer for you to get where you want it to be. But I don't think 225 is too low for ribs. You know, you'll get more smoke on them, and it just depends on the method that you're trying to cook them on. You know, like a lot of people use that 3-2-1 method, and I think the 3-2-1 method is geared more towards a 250-degree cook or a 275-degree. I forget, but I've had to adjust that for my taste and the way I like my ribs. For me, a 3-2-1 rib tends to be a little bit too much of a fall off the bone rib for me. And so I usually do maybe a 3, 1.5, and then a half or something like that, you know. But now, like I say, I've got to where when I do ribs, I do my ribs on that pit barrel cooker just because I like it does ribs perfect. I love it. And so I don't even wrap ribs anymore. I don't have to do anything. I just put them on. I hang them on that pit barrel cooker. Now the pit barrel cooker usually cooks them around 275, but I usually put me a couple of chunks of that hickory down in there in the bottom and let them smoke. And in about probably 4 to 5 hours, they're done and ready to go. I don't have to do anything to them. Sometimes I may spritz them. Sometimes I don't. And they still turn out really good. Julius, moink balls and baby back ribs. That sounds awesome. Julius, what recipe of moink balls you gonna use? If you don't have one, that moink ball recipe that Mark gave me turned out amazing. Baby back ribs sounds good too. Stevens in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Rick Short, bacon wrapped chicken breast with sun-dried tomato pesto and melted provolone cheese cooked on the griller. That sounds awesome. And Rick, I'm gonna tell you, I love that pesto. Basil pesto or sun-dried pesto. I love pesto. Love it. I tell you, that pesto, a regular basil pesto is good to use as a rub on like a skirt steak or flank steak. Seared really hot and fast. Crazy Pop, do you always trim your ribs? Yes, I do. I always make sure that the membrane is pulled off the back. And, you know, on the front side, I usually don't trim much unless, you know, for some reason there's just some excess fat or something, but there's really not much trimming to do on the front. Now, you know, no matter what rib, I always pull the membrane off the back. But if I get spare ribs, just regular spare ribs, you know, most of the time I'll just leave them just like they are, just pull the membrane off the back and leave them just like they are, and they go on the grill. That's what I did my first couple of rib videos with, and I love them like that. Then I got into doing the St. Louis style, where I'll buy the spare rib, but I'll make my own St. Louis style ribs, still pull the membrane off the back, do them that way, but I save the pieces that I cut off, and I just throw them on there for little snacks. But then baby backs, I really just pull the membrane off the back, and that's all I do. But I just think it's really important to pull that back membrane off, because if you're not careful, it's going to make those ribs chewy. And plus, any seasoning that you do put on the back, I mean, you're not going to get a whole lot of flavor off the back of those ribs anyway. But if you are going to get some, I'd rather not be seasoning that silver skin on the back. So I like pulling that off. So Julius is trying the Mark Moinks. Well, they turned out great. The only thing that I did differently was I substituted Parmesan cheese for the breadcrumbs, and I used that sauce that Gavin sent me from Australia, which turned out really good. Side yard barbecue, 6 to 10 inches of snow on the way. Still smoking ribs today. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, don't let it stop you. I don't think it's going to snow here today. Is there a difference in flavor between hanging ribs versus laying them flat? If I hang the ribs in the pit barrel cooker or lay them flat on the pit barrel cooker, there's no difference in flavor. But if you're talking about hanging them in the pit barrel cooker versus laying them flat on a pellet smoker, yeah, there's a difference in flavor just because the fuels are different. You're using a pellet in the pellet smoker, which is real wood, and in the pit barrel cooker, you're using charcoal briquettes, which is a charcoal flavor along with that wood flavor from the hickory chunks. So it does the hanging them versus laying them down is not what causes the flavor difference. It's just the different fuels that you're using, charcoal and wood chunks versus the real wood pellets. Smiley says St. Louis style is my favorite. And the stores around here usually do have the St. Louis style ribs. But I tell you, I've gotten to where my favorite rib is baby back. And I used to never buy baby back ribs. But here lately, man, I've got to where I love those baby back ribs. And I just buy them, rip the back membrane off, season them up, hang them, and they turn out perfect every time. Crazy Pop, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'll be using my Kamado. That sounds good. That sounds good. Hopefully one day I'll get a Kamado style cooker to add to my arsenal back here in the backyard. I've got the tailgater and let's see if I can. Y'all hold on. I'm gonna move y'all around for a minute. Here we go. There we go. Ooh, look at that. That daggum handsome devil right there. So there's the Traeger Timberline 850. And there's my Weber kettle. I kind of used it as a table this morning. But there's my Weber kettle. And there's my Silverbac right there. And then there's my Traeger Tailgater right there. And then right out there is my Watchman Stove. And then right over there is my pit barrel cooker. And then over there is my patina fire pit that I can also grill on if need be. That's my second one. My wife got me that thing. It comes with a grill grate and everything. You can cook on it. That thing's been to Bristol a couple times. My last one went to Bristol probably 3 times. So those things are awesome too. Really nice fire pits. And then there's, I'll spin you around right here. There's a pool that I'm trying to get clean. There's Old Glory. Old Glory. Beautiful. There's my fire pit right there. Old fire pit. And then there's the old Yeti. Ready to get fired up. And there's you guys. Look at there. There's all your comments right there. You dirty rascals. There is the cooler that my brisket came in yesterday. There's old Sambo. Old Revo. Them animals right there got it made. Let's see what else we got going on here. Got a KJ on sale at Lowe's for $300. Wow, that's cheap. Did you ever use full electric smoker? I have not. I have never used a full electric smoker. Now my buddy Bill Moody, I was in the Marine Corps with, up in North Carolina, he has one. I think he's got a Masterbuilt, and he does all of his smoking on that. T-Rooks, which is your favorite? Now see, T-Rooks is about to get some stuff stirred up here. Which is my favorite? Ew. Well, I tell you, here's how I'm going to answer. I'm going to be diplomatic. If I'm doing ribs, and I've said this before, y'all have heard me say it before. If I'm doing ribs, my favorite's a pit barrel cooker. If I'm going to do steaks, I'm going to use that Watchman stove out there. That's a steak machine. If I'm doing wings, the Weber kettle, I like doing wings on the Weber kettle, but I also like doing wings on the pellet smokers, Boston Butts pellet smokers, brisket pellet smokers. Like I say, I don't have a Kamado style cooker, so I can't really say that. Now, as far as pellet smokers go, let me go back. Tailgating, I would say the Traeger Tailgater probably, or the Watchman Stove. That Watchman Stove has got a hitch that they build on it, and a receiver hitch already built on the frame of it. And so you just put that insert in it, put it in your insert on your truck, and take off. It's perfect for that. But that Traeger Tailgater, the legs fold up on it, and you can take it tailgating. So I like either one of those for that. The pellet smokers, I mean, my favorite so far has been that Grilla Silverbac, until I got that bad boy right there. And the more I use that thing, the more I love that thing. And I plan on doing a review of this Timberline this weekend until I got this brisket and decided to do this brisket video. So I may do a review video of this Timberline 850 next weekend. So look forward to that. But both of these, this Timberline and that Silverbac, both are cooking machines, versatile cooking machines that can cook anything. Either one of these pellet smokers, you can cook wings, you can cook butts, you can cook ribs, you can cook chicken, you can bake cakes on them. I've got a cake video that I did a crack cake on in a bundt pan. I did that cake on that Silverbac. I've done bread. I've baked rolls, homemade rolls on these pellet smokers. Breakfast cups and muffin tins I've done on there. All kind of stuff. So you can cook anything on a pellet smoker. So I know that was a very diplomatic answer. Side yard barbecue. Dad was a Marine. Semper Fi. Maybe that's toughness trickled down. There's no doubt. It didn't have a choice, I would imagine. Have you noticed a difference on ribs when you experience a high humidity, say, versus a low humidity day? To be honest with you, here in South Georgia, it's humid every day. We don't really get very many non-humid days down here. So it's really humid almost all the time. I can't really say that I have noticed. I mean, in the wintertime, it is less humid than in the summer, but I haven't really noticed that much here. I do like all of them, Stephen, but each one of the grills has their own place. I would say that. Now, again, the pellet smokers are probably the most versatile for sure. But again, I like all of them. That Watchman stove has a griddle attachment to it. That's a 1/4 inch solid steel, and you know, like fajitas and stuff like that. It's awesome for that too. And smash burgers. Smash burgers are great on that thing. But that pit barrel cooker with the ribs is good too. So I like them all. You know, I have my favorites for different types of meat, I guess. Trigger time. Have you ever entertained the thought of your own barbecue restaurant? Yeah, all the time, Mike, all the time. My mama owned a bar. I probably need to set y'all back over here because y'all are probably getting dizzy. Hold on a minute. Y'all hang on. And put y'all right back on your little perch right there. Maybe that's good. Yeah. My mama I've told y'all my mama owned a barbecue restaurant for a while, and she did really well with it, but I think 2 or 3 times she got broken into within a couple of months. And each time, you know, they would steal $400 or $500 worth of meat. And, you know, when you lose $1,500 worth of meat and you're a small, really small barbecue restaurant, that's hard to overcome and recover from. And so she ended up having to close it down. But all the time I think about opening up another restaurant. Me and Harley have talked about it, you know, or even just a food truck, you know. But even a food truck, I mean, I looked at them, you know, like last month, just throwing around ideas, and even a food truck is, you know, people are paying $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for a fully equipped food truck, and I just can't afford that, you know. So I've even thought about just, you know, advertising weekends, you know, Saturdays, you know, 12 to 4, you know, come through the back door right there, come on in the backyard and have my fire pit, my pits going, and, you know, selling barbecue out of my backyard. But then I was reading where you still have to have a license, and you have to be inspected and all this stuff, and it ends up being more trouble than it's worth, you know. So, but I'd love to do that. I really would. Actually, Keith, right now I have it sitting in there on the counter, and the reason is because the pollen here has been terrible. I mean, terrible, and it is over everything. Matter of fact, yesterday afternoon and this morning, I had my Clorox wipes out here, and I wiped down my cooler, cleaned my cooler up. I went over there and wiped off the all my grills, covered the Traeger Tailgater up, wiped down the lid on the on this Weber kettle, cleaned up the Silverbac. I had to wipe down the Traeger tailgate, the Timberline again. Everything out here is covered in pollen. Yesterday I had the blower, and I had the blower going, and I blowed the cushions off on that couch right there, and you could just see the green fog just being blown off. So everything was covered in pollen, and I didn't want that the sauces and all that stuff to be covered in pollen and all that. So I've got them sitting in there in the counter. I did use that some of the sauce last night on those pork chops though, that I did with the old Charlie's Choice there, and that I love that golden bold sauce. That golden bold is my favorite, and that's kind of the sauce that my mom used, and she made her own sauce, and it was a vinegar based sauce, but it was more of a mustard sauce with it had that color to it, that kind of orange tint to it, and that's the kind of sauce that I like more than anything. But Keith, I really appreciate that, man. That was awesome. Do you use a water pan for your pellet smokers? I don't. I've heard some people doing that, but I don't. I have used the spritz technique some, and like especially for bossing butts and stuff like that, I do spritz a little bit. And I thought about it in a little bit, maybe going in there and getting a little bit of some beef stock, diluted in a little bit of water, and putting in a bottle just to spritz the old brisket just a little bit, maybe. If I see that's getting a little bit dried out on top or whatever, but I still want to bark on it too. So, but I've never used a water pan on my pellet smokers. And Austin, I have seen more of the cargo style trailers that have the little porch on them or something like that, and those can be pretty reasonable. And so that might not be a bad way to go, and it might be a cheaper way to go with that kind of thing. I guess I'm just not ready to take that leap, I guess. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can see on the like the steps on the pool where that pollen has settled in the water. The steps are kind of a greenish tint, and the whole bottom of the pool. I'm gonna have to throw that little robot in here in a little while and get it to suck everything off the bottom and let it go through the filter. But that pollen is everywhere, and I mean we're surrounded by pecan trees. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pecan trees just right there, and all that pollen just comes off all of them. The whole side of the house right over here on the side is that whole row. Instead of having a fence in the front yard, I've got red tip bushes as a barrier between us and the neighbor, and pollen flies off that stuff and just coats everything. All right, guys. Well, we've been going hour and 15 minutes, but I just wanted to bring y'all into my backyard and just kind of visit with y'all a little while, show you what I had going on the grill with that brisket and all that stuff, and thought it'd be kind of fun. I've enjoyed having y'all, I know that. Glad all y'all showed up. Do you harvest the nuts, or do the squirrels get them all? I don't. The squirrels get most of them, but we've got so many pecan farms around here. There's a couple in the town next to us, the town that I work in. Mascot is what it's called. They're a big pecan farming group, and they shell them and they make chocolate covered pecans and all that stuff. And so there's, we've got pecan farms around here. We've got, and I'm sure most of y'all have heard of Vidalia onions. Well, the county that I work in is there's actually a Vidalia, Georgia, that's 20 minutes from here. But Vidalia, Georgia is not actually the largest Vidalia onion producing place. It's actually Tattnall County is the largest Vidalia onion producing county in the world. I think. And so when that comes out, I mean, the whole air smells like Vidalia onions. And so, you know, we always have plenty of pecans, peanuts, peaches, Vidalia onions. You can get Vidalia onions anywhere around here. So all those things are really plentiful in this area. And chickens. Everybody around here has a chicken house, if you can afford it. Rick Short, thanks for bringing us into your backyard. This was for sure the greatest of all time. I appreciate that, Rick. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all joining me. I love this part of this channel. And when I first started this channel, I never thought about the live aspect. But I enjoy this aspect more than anything. Just interacting with you guys and getting to know you guys and all that stuff. So I've enjoyed it. Like I say, when I get off here, I'm going to fire up the tunes. I'm going to get into the cooler because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm going to check on that beautiful brisket back there. And I already got the ambiance lights on. Old Glory's flying. It's going to be a beautiful day. I may check in again maybe later on this afternoon or something. Who knows? No telling what we're going to get into. I'm going to finish up the video and do all that. And so anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. I thank y'all for sharing my backyard with me. Y'all have a great day. If y'all are having bad weather, then y'all watch a couple of Jus Piddlin videos. But anyway, thank y'all again. And I'll see y'all next time tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. Almost forgot. Sunday morning at 7 o'clock. My eyes might be swollen up a little bit in the morning. But I will be there. I won't let you down. So until next time, I'll be piddling. See you guys.